Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hairymuppet, and we are continuing on with the base, and we just got some more research. We're closing off the last of the red research at the moment, but I'm not gonna. There's just ammo and damage and fluid handling, which is actually pretty sweet. Maybe we should get fluid handling right now because we will need a lot of these awesome things because yes, if you've ever played Factorio, you know that pipes suck and barrels rule. So you definitely want to be barreling stuff and throwing the barrels around, especially with robots, rather than piping everything around because piping sucks. And yeah, basically you can pipes just degrade over time. You have to start using pumps to make sure that the pressure doesn't die, and that is just it's just annoying. I I really hate using pipes, and I always try and avoid it if I can. My best system is just a huge logistics network with a ton of robots flying around everywhere delivering barrels. And that's probably what we're going to end up with in this game. While I'm over here, let's get a light there. Let's get a light there. We are so backed up on wood at the moment, which this is going to be one of the few times we're going to be backed up on wood because once we start really using those circuit boards, using a lot of them, this wood is going to dry out and we're going to have to continuously expand this guy because you've got to remember it's 60 seconds to build 15 wood, and that's so we're building like 2 wood a second, which is it sounds like it might be okay, but it's really not. So all right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to automate carbon, and we need that for the good old basic electronic boards, and so that's what we're going to do. And I'll tell you what, man, if you thought that automating basic circuit boards was awesome, wait till we automate the basic electronic boards. The oh man, it's going to be so good. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to pipe some water down next to this lumber down from here. We're going to need a ton of these undergrounds, and we only got 8. I need some iron. Need some iron. Man, I need legs. I need everything. I'm so used to playing endgame that this early game is just completely doing my head in. So what we're going to do is we're going to pipe some water down here. We're going to throw some carbon through the mining setup. Not carbon, coal. We're going to push some coal through there. We do have coal over here, actually, in this top right, but oh, I don't want to stretch anything from over there. It's just a pain. And we've already got the coal just before there, so we might as well do that. 1,000, that's a lot of iron pipe to grounds, which is awesome. That's another thing we're going to have to automate. Probably once we start getting into oil and all of that sort of stuff, we are definitely going to want to automate pipes and underground pipes because as you can see, each underground takes 10 normal pipes to make, and that is just way too many. So there we go. If it's water's definitely comes out pretty fast, so I don't think we have to worry too much about losing fluid pressure for this. It should be fine. Okay, we're almost there, but we're going to need a few more. And what we're going to do is we're going to have coal on the bus, but we're actually going to do most of the carbon just over here, right at the start, and then put the carbon on the bus as well. So both coal and carbon are going to be next to the wood. Coal, I'm not so sure if we really need on the bus. Carbon, obviously we do. So now we're going to belt stuff over. And we will belt just about here, just above the wood. So this is where all of the coal is going to come across. And we're actually going to feed it through here. We're going to use something very tricky to get the coal through because I don't want to interrupt this smelting setup. So what we're actually going to do is do it like this. Underground, underground, underground. And I don't want to pull off this half belt either because that could be bad long term. them. So we're just going to sort of sneak the coal under here. And there we go. We should be able to pull this off. There we go. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So now we've got coal coming out. It's not interrupting this smelting array too much. I mean, it kind of is, but as I said, by the time we extend these, I don't know if we will have bots, but we should be getting close to bots, so that should be fine. By the time we get down to putting blue belts down, we definitely should have bots. I'm not going to put this on the bus at the moment. I don't know if we need coal later on or what we need coal for. Bob's Mods is kind of just crazy, but carbon, let's just go with it. So this is made in the red guys. The red guys need stone brick. So let's go down to our little stone brick producer. 100. Beautiful. This guy needs some more fuel. Let's take the wood out and let's put coal, because coal is better. And once this guy starts spitting coal out, come on, where is... Oh, I forgot a belt. There we go. Put a belt there, and now everything should be coming out okay. And once we got coal back down here, we can just pick it up whenever the hell we want. And that'll be beautiful. So, oh, look at that. 20 chemical furnaces. I feel like we can put 10 down here for carbon. Takes the red guys. These do need fuel as well, but I mean, we're producing carbon, and carbon requires coal. So we're putting coal in to smelt it, and we're also putting coal in to fuel it. And I did say in a previous episode that you never smelt a fuel source, and you don't in normal smelters. But this guy's a special smelter, so you have to actually select a recipe, which is why it all works. So I gotta keep remembering we're trying to keep this space free. So let's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And how long do we take to make carbon? It produces 2 every 2 seconds. That's 1 per second. So we don't have to worry about too much craziness with the belt. Actually, we'll make this guy the output, and we'll make this guy the input a little bit further actually over, so we can use some long-handed inserters. Alright. Get rid of that stuff. Need some more long-handed inserters. More of these guys. Let's just grab 158 inserters out of that one chest. And that is how the game should be played. You just need something, you go to a chest, and you grab 200 of the damn things, or 100 of the damn things, and you're just like, this is beautiful. And eventually we will have everything that I've got right here and more will all be coming directly out of some sort of automated generation process, and we'll just grab it whenever we want. So we need some normal pipes here. Let's put that guy down to there. And we might get a little bit of slowness, but usually this pump, where is it? Where's my pump going? Produces 1200 per second, and that's water. So we got 1200 per second coming down, and these guys producing carbon take 5 water every 2 seconds. So I don't think we're going to run out of water for any of these guys. The only thing is the pipe, and I think the pipe goes the same amount as the pumps, or maybe even more. I've seen some maths saying it does 12,000, but I don't know if I trust that math, because here we go. So they're filling up all of the fuel, and the fuel gets used not very fast. So there we go. Now we just need... Oh, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do a split there. Okay. We don't have enough room here to do a proper split. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a little bit of a hacky one. It's not as nice, and it goes out here and bloody makes this a pain in the ass. What we actually can do is we can do that and get rid of that, and that works the same. So it only goes out one tile, which is better than 2 tiles, so we got more room to put stuff here. So then we put these guys out there. And then we put some power poles. So that is going to be carbon coming out of the line, being balanced. And let's go ahead and put this guy on the bus. Technically it's going under wood, so let's actually do it like this. There we go. And you see I've left this gap here because I'm hoping that we have the second tin smelting array coming in at some point, but don't really need it now. So there we go. Full on carbon coming in. Absolutely beautiful. Now let's work on this one step at a time. So carbon is there. We are going to need to... Let's start with the basic electronic components. Yeah, now the thing is basic electronic components are needed for a lot of stuff. So if we have a look at... What's the thing we researched? So electronics is the basic one, and that gave us basic electronic boards. Now if we scroll around here somewhere, we should see, there we go, advanced electronics. So that one gives us an electronic circuit board, but as you can see, it still needs basic electronic components, which means we want basic electronic components on the bus. And it also needs solder, so we want those on the bus as well. So we are going to be putting both of these components. Basically, every component needed by this damn thing will be on the bus. There's just no way around it. So let's go through here. Tins of copper wire, I'm pretty sure that doesn't need to be on the bus. So we can make that locally. So let's just start figuring out how we're going to do this. So we're going to leave a bit of room. As you can see, I forgot to mention it, but I scouted all the way over here to see what's going on because the bus will probably reach this far. Quartz, finally found some silicon ore. We can mine that out. The uranium, we can mine that out. Copper ore, we can mine that out. A little bit of lead. This we can't mine out. The actual oil and pure water and groundwater and all these sort of things. They just go down to a certain level, like 0.1%, and then they stay there. But we can work around them. We can basically use massive undergrounds. When we get to the end game, we'll have purple undergrounds that go a really long way, and we can sort of go around them. Let's actually have a look. Purple undergrounds. So you'll remember the yellow undergrounds go a distance of 4. If we go to the purple ones, they go a distance of 25. So I feel like we can build the bus just straight under all of those groundwater tables and go nuts. The thing I was really worried about was running into a lake. I haven't seen a lake so far, but I'm not going to run 20 miles across the base looking for a lake because there's not really a better place to build the bus. We got power over here, we got a lake over here, and south we got a lake as well. I think the radars discovered that. So this is really the only direction we got, so we're just going to have to deal with it. The last red research, and you know what? After this is finished, we might as well turn green on now. It's going to start on military 2, which actually takes 20 of each as opposed to 50 of these, so it's decided it's the cheapest, but we'll go back and we'll finish the red one right now because we can. And I'm getting so distracted, but anyway. Carbon, let's pull that up the bus, and let's pull the tin up the bus as well, and go nuts. So, what was I doing here? We are going to do a quick blueprint so we can duplicate this later if necessary, but we need to know how much space it takes up. So there we go. So I am right now standing on the very edge of where this can go. So we're going to belt there, and that's beautiful. So we got enough room for another basic circuits over there if we need to. Is it called? This is basic circuits, this is basic electronics. That's going to confuse the living crap out of me. All right, so let's do some thinking here. So we're going to need tinned copper wire, which is going to need, tinned copper wire needs copper cable, which also needs tinned plates, and blah, 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 blah. So we got a 1-for-1 between copper cable and tinned copper wire. We could produce one of these things again, just ratio perfect. I'm starting to get a bit tired of ratio perfect, to be honest. Maybe later we will do it, but I'm starting to get annoyed, and I really, really want these automated. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have a 1-for-1 with this guy and copper cable, and we're going to split this belt completely with copper and tin. So let's get some more undergrounds made. We got almost no belt, so let's grab a whole bunch of belt out of there. That was probably too much because my inventory is full now. Got a whole bunch of that. Let's get rid of some of that copper plate. We don't need that much in our inventory. We got a whole bunch of other random crap in here from when we were making those guys. So what do we need here? We need copper and we need tin. So there we go. Let's make a few more of those. We started making basic circuit boards again. Not good. Let's grab 800 of those. I'm so glad they stack up so high. There we go. So we got a half copper, half tin. Let's line this up. So that's where we need to be starting things. There we go. And we're going to make this guy copper cable, and we're going to make this guy tinned copper wire. And we're going to have an extra guy over here because there is going to be so much throughput between those. What did I just get? Long inserters too. That's nice. We got some inserter things. I want loaders. We're going to research loaders. I know I can't build them yet, but I want them and I am going to have them. Yeah, almost got me off course there. There we go. So the copper cable is coming out. Tinned copper wire is being built. What did we need that for again? We needed that for basic electronic components. So what we're going to do now is we're going to basically do the same thing we did over here, which is do that and these guys take 1 and 1 and they produce 5, so there is absolutely no danger of us needing to have a full belt. We can easily have half a belt of this. So what we're going to do is do that. I'm going to stretch this guy down a little bit so we can put the carbon on here, goes on this side, and the tin copper wire can go on this side. I'll put 2 inserters there because I think we're producing 3 of it every half a second. So yeah, 2 inserters is good. It's actually not enough. We need like another inserter there. There we go. That's beautiful. Now we just need carbon. I can't promise we're going to get the basic electronic boards done this episode because I honestly don't think we are. But I did say it was going to take like a ton of episodes. So yeah. Whoa. There we go. Just pulled out wood by mistake, but that's fine. So we need to do that to get the wood underneath, and then we can split off the carbon here. And there we go. We got carbon coming up this side as well as tin copper wire. And now we need A bunch of these. These actually take 2 seconds, so they're very, very slow. So what are we producing? We're producing 3 every half a second. So 6 per second, and these guys need 1 every 2 seconds. So we could put 10. We could put 10 full guys down here, and I probably will. And we're going to learn our lesson here. We're going to separate these guys by a little bit so that they can push this back properly. And every 5 seconds, they actually produce 2. Oh, sorry, every 2 seconds they produce 5. So we're going to have a lot of product coming down here. Yeah. So we're going to need 2 inserters. There we go. We're going to need... So that's fine. Just needed a gap at 1 there. And we're going to have to do some fancy power pole stuff here, but that is all good. What we actually do is we'll put a power pole every single one and just fill the rest of the space with inserters. It's a bit ugly, but it's fine. It is absolutely fine. Let's get these. 6, I wish 6 actually hit this one, but it's like shift 1 or something like that to actually get the power poles. Very, very interesting. Okay, so you are all going to be making basic electronic components. And we will fill this belt up so fast, it's not even funny. Now here we only need 1 per, because it takes 2 seconds and it takes 2 components, and these guys can handle 1 component a second fairly easily. So belts, and here we go. So it seems slow, but the fact that it produces 5 of the damn things means this belt is going to be absolutely chockers. Once again, balance. Yeah, I should try and balance as high up as I can actually, just to make sure that we got enough space for whatever we need space for. No. Okay. Now, so we've got go past our tin and lead, we go past our miscellaneous, and we go down again, because this is going to be our circuit line, where we're going to have 2 lines for basic circuits and then 2 lines for the basic electronics. So as you can see, this bus is going to turn into a beast. Well, what have I researched so far? Oh, I got the filters. I got the loaders, which actually work as filters as well. So now let's get these guys. Steel furnaces are going to be awesome. And there we go. Basic electronic components. We're at 23 minutes right now. Do I think I can get solder done? I'm not entirely sure that I can, actually. Here's something that just occurred to me. The metal mixing furnace, ye old metal mixing furnace, takes fuel. I don't have fuel on the bus, but does it take carbon? Yes, it will run on carbon. So carbon is apparently a fuel source. And we have carbon on the bus. We also got wood, but I don't really want to use wood because that burns too quickly. So we can get that working beautiful. Let's make a whole bunch of these so we can make... Yeah, let's just see where we go. If this video is a little bit too long, I don't know what too long is anyway, so... Anyway, tin and lead, we're both going to need those, but not a lot of them, because 11 solder plate every 7 seconds. So let's just say 1 per second. And 1 per second is Yeah, so that's fine. We're going to have like 5 of these or 10 of these. We're going to overkill it anyway, so that's going to give us enough solder plate. And then we need resin going through, and the resin is 1-for-1 with raw wood. So that's going to be 1 per second. And I don't know how many of these solder machines we're going to have. Probably about 8, which means we're going to need about 4 resin per second. Yeah, that sounds good. All of that math sounds good. You can see we've starting to get to the point where I can actually build these. I got 7 here, but I got a whole bunch of other miscellaneous components in my inventory. So let's think about this. So we're definitely not going to be putting the solder plate or the resin back on the bus. There's just no point. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to leave some space for a second one of these. So leave some space here. Where is my guy going to go? That's beautiful. So I can start building right here, because we can sort of loop an underground under this thing if we need to. In fact, we'll do one right there. So you can see how that little offshoot would fit under there. So that's going to be beautiful. And now, let's say we need, I think it was going to be 8 of those machines, and they run at 2 seconds each. So we should need 4 guys doing resin. And that should be enough to go on half of a belt. Easy, absolutely easy. What are we actually building here? And then we need solder plate. So we're just going to fill this up with resin, and we're going to do what we did before with the basic circuit boards, which is the resin goes up here, the finished product goes down there, and then we've got the actual solder, whatever it is, the actual solder plate on the other side feeding directly in. I don't think we need a separate bus for that. So resin, there we go. Advanced materials processing. That's not what I wanted. So now we can get steel furnaces if we need to. So these guys are got a speed of 2. They do need steel and they do need stone brick, both of which we are not really that close to automating. We could. Steel is easy to make. You just take iron, you put it back in a smelter again, and you get steel. But that requires a lot more mining to actually do it properly. So let's have a look here. We need wood. What are we researching? More inserters. Just inserter upgrades by the looks of it. Can't build this because I don't have any iron. Let's get a whole bunch of iron. There we go. Oh man. Always running out of these things. At least we don't have to build the things for them anymore. We just build whatever we need. Okay, there we go. Wood goes up there. Goes into resins. Poles. Split that out to here. And done. We've got these guys, and that is going to be half of it. So now we remember we're going to have 8 of these machines building the actual thing, and we'll put them up a little bit. So because if we put it here, this guy is going to have a hard time grabbing the resin off the belt, so we'll put it up a little bit. 5, 6, 7, 8. And these guys are all going to be building the solder. And as you can see, there's a lot of them. So we're going to need a little cut in here as well. So we'll leave a bit of space there. And since we're building... this is going to get tough actually, because it builds 8 every 2 seconds, so that's 4 per second. And I'd like to have 2 inserters here, but we can't afford to have two inserters and also a long-handed inserter. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have to suck it, and basically when we get the fast inserters, which will be very, very soon because all they need is the basic electronic boards, at that point we can just swap these normal inserters for fast inserters and everything will be beautiful. So anyway, let's go ahead, do that, do the halfway and the halfway. Done. This is actually nice because you get a single power pole in there that feeds all of them, and that seems to work out really well. 30 minutes again. I'm really pushing this game, but then again, I really love this game, so I don't mind going over a little bit, or I don't even know what over is, to be honest, but let's see. So we need, each guy needs 2 solder plate a second, and this produces 11 solder plate every 7 seconds, which as a ratio is just messed up, absolutely messed up, but whatever, we're just going to deal with it. So yeah, we're just going to run it like that. We're just going to do a 1-for-1 because that's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. And we're going to need a lot of stuff coming in here because not only do we need the tin and the lead, we're also going to need carbon to keep the damn thing fueled, because you can't burn tin or lead to actually make things run. I'm pretty sure you can't do that. Okay. Oh, that's a bit too close. There we go. So we're going to run that down there, and to save a bit of space, what I'm actually going to do is we're going to do a little jerky thing over here. And what we can do is we can feed these 3 straight up, and the carbon can be on the right hand side going under, and then these 2 merge onto both sides of the belt. So I need so many undergrounds to make this work. So many undergrounds. 2, 3. So it's going to be tin and lead on the left hand side and then carbon on the right. That was boilers 1. So that is going to give us, boilers 1 is going to give us some more efficient boilers. So it basically, without having to expand our electronic setup, we can basically just get more energy out of the existing space that we have. Okay, we don't need to go over actually, because this is where tin and lead actually are. So we just need to build this guy up. Carbon, we'll extend that line. And there goes the carbon. Now, we should think about this as well. So this is going to be the other tin line. And then this guy goes in there. And then this tin line comes there. So tin ends up coming out beautifully on the other side. Although, we do want to split them again after they're done to sort of even out the line. So we need a splitter after all those undergrounds because that's the only place we can put it. And now we just need to complete these belts over to here. And it's basically a throughput problem, which is why I keep having these 2 belts of this and 2 belts of that and 4 belts of iron, because you really do have to care about the throughput. I mean, it's no point having 2 smelting arrays producing 2 yellow belts full of stuff if you're only pushing 1 yellow belt down the bus, because you'll only ever be able to take 1 yellow belt's worth of stuff and actually do things with it, because you just won't have the materials available, because it's not just about how much you can produce, It's about how fast you can move the stuff that you are producing. Give me some more of those. There's the carbon. That's going to produce extra power poles. We should have done it like this. Yeah, we're going to do that. Oh, I hate you so much. So it's not like a mirror setup anymore. It's like a tiled setup, sort of, but it'll be a bit nicer and it'll be a bit better power usage. So we'll put that down there instead. There, and there. And then we'll put that guy there. These power poles are a bit all over the place. Need one there as well. So, and then what we do is that guy, that guy, that guy, and that guy, and here, 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 and here. And then we can just put them right in the middle there and pick up that bit of tin and need to select the recipe. So here we go, drag it to all of these guys, and we can see that it takes a while to load all these guys up because by default it loads up twice as much as it needs. So it only needs 4 tin, but it loads up 8, and then it starts loading in the lead plate. As soon as it's got enough, it starts loading in. This is actually going to be a problem because it's not loading anywhere near fast enough, but this will be a case of fast inserters once again. Once we get the fast inserters, we will replace all of these guys. There's not a lot we can do because you only got 2 space for inserters, and I don't think... we do. We've already researched all of the fancy inserter things. We must have done that at some point, but there is research. Where is it? Adjustable inserters that actually allow you to rotate stuff. So for example, what I could do is I could build an inserter and I could say pick up over there and drop over there. And it'll actually pick up from this location and drop in this location, which is really awesome. And we're going to be doing a lot of that. But for now, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to upgrade them to fast when it gets to it. What are you doing? You're around the wrong way. That is not good. Let's get you around the right way, and the solder starts coming out. And let's get this, and we're going to shift this down to the bus, and that is going to be all we do this episode. That's going to be the end of the episode. And then next episode, we will finally have enough to actually build the damn things. So again, we skip over where the circuits are going to go, and whoa, what did we do here? Oh, I've messed this one up. This one's too high. The belt is supposed to be in these 2 spots, not over there. So that's fine. Put that there. There we go. So now that's a bit better. Oh. So feed this guy down. 3. Where are all of my splitters going? Okay, and there we go. All of our electronic circuit components. And we need to stretch this guy out as well. Damn it, why do I did the same mistake over there, didn't I? It's too high. It's just way too high. Alright. I'm sorry, I can't leave. How did this, this setup is fine, but the actual underground only went down 3 spots instead of 4. And yes, if you can't tell, you have to be incredibly anal to actually like this game. Well, you don't have to be, but if you're not incredibly anal, then you will be. You will become incredibly anal after a very short amount of time because it's just that sort of game. And me, I just, you know, it's cool. it works out well for me. So yes, there we go. Let's just drag this guy across, and let's drag this guy across. And the first thing we're going to do next episode is going to be taking all of these guys and throwing them all into basic electronic boards. And we've got everything we need, and then that's going to be beautiful. We're going to be able to make the fast inserters. We're going to be able to make the whatchamacallit, the loaders. We're going to be able to make everything. It's going to be fantastic. So I will see you guys in the next episode. Take care.